Hello. Hello, dear YouTube friends. My name is Mandy van Gooijen, for people who don't know me. I am a Dutch illustrator artist and I have a YouTube channel in which I share my process, but also videos about art supplies, mainly watercolor so far. Right, I wanted to give you an update because I've been away for a pretty long time now, a month, and it wasn't planned. So I want to tell you what happened and how I am now. And I also want to give you a little update on what I'm doing. And I want to share with you a deliberation I am making. The thing is that I am in the process of purchasing a set of Lightfast color pencils. And I'm deliberating whether it should be the Luminance, which I already have 28 of, and that I think are really nice, are excellent, by the way, not just nice, but excellent, or the Derwent Lightfast. The Derwent Lightfast misses quite a few colours that I really like, but I already have some of those in this set, and I could expand with the Luminance. So, but I'll get into that later. Maybe you can help me think. Maybe you have experience with both pencils. Maybe you want to share your experience. That would be really great. So, right, this is like an on-the-fly recording. There is little organization here. And it's sort of not possible because my mind is not really working as organized as I would like it to. And I'll tell you why. So, 4 weeks ago, I became really ill. Lots of belly aches. And the thing was, that's no exception for me. So I didn't recognize that something quite serious was going on. Fortunately, my husband said on Tuesday night, I'm not letting you go into the night like this. And he took me to the ER, where I was admitted into hospital straight away. So there was like an abdomen problem there. And, well, I was in hospital for a couple of days with antibiotics, drip, drip, drip. And after 4 days, I think, no, 3-4 days, I was sent home with a couple of boxes of pills, more antibiotics, and they made me at least as ill as the initial problem did. So, and the antibiotics are still in my system, or the side effects of it, or it's just that antibiotics are great when you need them. They really save lives. They did. They saved mine. But the side effects are that they don't only kill the bad bacteria, they also kill the good ones. And I don't know exactly what that means in practice, but what I do notice is that I'm very tired. I've been seasick. I've been, especially when I was on the meds, but even afterwards, and still sometimes when I walk, it's like I'm on a ship that's going side to side on the waves. Like bending over or making, like dance moves. I was feeling really good a couple of days ago. So I did a little crazy dance with my daughter just for like 5 seconds. And I was like, whoa, the whole world started spinning. And also there is the matter of, I am writing everything down in my journal, in my diary right now. Everything that needs arranging, telephone calls I have to make, because my mind is like a sieve. One moment I know something, the next moment I know I knew something but forgot what it was. And then it takes forever to get back to that idea, or it doesn't come at all, just by chance. It's like, oh yeah, that was what it was. So I think, the body is working and it's taking up some of my hard disk space and my processing capacity, and well, that's what it is. So I haven't been able to work, which I am so frustrated about, because I was finally getting into a project. I was working myself into a project that I really, really, really liked and that I really enjoyed, and I shared a thing or two here on YouTube, and I wanted to shape that into something consistent. What is the thing that seems impossible right now? Consistency. So, well, of course, with this health issue going on, there is a little bit of insecurity about, is it over now? Is it gone now? Am I better? Or does it take something else? I don't know. And then there is COVID. And COVID right now is ruining our healthcare system in the Netherlands. So even if the doctors think something else should happen to heal me, question is whether they will be able to do it at all. So at this moment, I'm feeling good, just a little, just hazy and, seasick still, sometimes a little headache. And then, my energy doesn't take me through 18 hours like it used to. My energy goes for about 12 hours right now, and then it's gone. Then I just have to stop and watch TV and sleep and everything. But that's okay. I can live with that. I can accept that my body is working on healing, and that's fine. But I have no idea. I feel good, but I have no idea what's going to happen. So there's only one thing I can't really do at the moment, and that is consistency. Things I can do, because let's talk about the things I can do, because when you talk all the time about things you cannot do, that really, 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 really puts you down. I am not a fan of positive thinking. I am, when you're feeling bad, you feel bad. And when there is bad emotions inside of you, they need to get out. I don't believe that we should bury our, difficult emotions below a pile of positive thinking. But that being said, I do think it's very important to look at, things in life that make it worthwhile, little things, but also to do things you can do, because, that's important. So, right, things I can do. What I've done is I ordered a new planner, which is especially now. There is this purpose planner. It's a Dutch planner, and I hate and like it. What I love about it, it's a good, big, sturdy book with really good paper inside that, you can write on with everything and it won't bleed to the next page. You can stick things into it, and the binding is so good that even if the book becomes really thick, it still holds. So that's why I buy it. But the other half of the book, it's called a purpose planner. So what you have to do from day one is to start thinking who you are, what your ideals are, who you want to be, your bucket list, a purpose matrix, a purpose map with all the things you want to achieve in your life. I've stopped doing that. I don't do it anymore. I mean, life isn't malleable. We are not as malleable as we think we are, and as commercial as our market economy wants to make us believe we are. We can do a lot, and there are things we have influence on, and if we work hard on them, and if we think positive, we can do a lot. But I'm just done with thinking, oh, this is going to be my year, because you know what? Things just keep happening. And every time you think this is going to be your year, and you have your bucket list and you have your goals and it just throws everything upside down. And I have found, especially in the COVID year, it sort of pulls you down so hard that it gets really difficult to do anything anymore, at least for me. So what I've decided to do I think it was 2020, is I have decided not to set goals, but to do whatever I can on that day. And the only thing I sort of take as a guideline for myself in the morning is just, what's the best version of me that I would like to be? And then I try to just do the things on that day that sort of take me a little bit closer to that person. And that's it. So what I'm going to do, what I've already been doing. So in the first place, this golden backing, I did that. And I'm going to go over that with, well, maybe this card or something. I'm going to stick something on the front of my book, because I don't like to have a planner that has a brand name on it, especially not the purpose planner. I mean, Just imagine if you fill out a planner like this and you forget it in a train or a cafe, and everyone is going to read your very personal stuff about what you want to do, who you want to be, your reflections, questions to yourselves, and your ultimate goals, etc., etc. I think if I ever want to think about things like that again, I'll do it in a different book, not in my diary. So what I'm doing now is, and this is where I have this sticker paper and it's bubbling. So this is old and dead, I think. But I'm going to just cover all these pages with these purpose texts, with blank pages for me to fill in with sketches or anything. So buying this planner takes a little bit of work, but I'm okay with that because I love the book once I've adapted it to be mine. The other thing I've done is I have ordered a new Moleskine daily planner. So it's like one day. So this is the one from this year. It's 1 page per day. And this is my log book. So what I do is when I work, or when I don't work, but what I do is I try to sit down at the end of the day, every day, and write down my process of that day. What did I do? Did I enjoy it? What went really well? What was not a success? What am I going to change? What inspirations have I got? What are the things I want to look into? Are there any things I want to look up on the internet? So I just write down everything that affects my process in this. So I've been having, this was the We're All Mad here. This was the what's she called again, Alice in Wonderland theme. So I don't like Moleskine paper very much because it does bleed like hell, but this I only use ballpoint pen in, and well, very rarely do I stick anything into this. So this is just, you know, to write down some thoughts. And what I do, you know, when I get to a point in my process where I feel stuck, I leave through this book again. So I leave back from this day and I leave back to where I was still inspired, and I read, why was I inspired? What was inspiring me? What was I achieving to learn? And then sometimes I take off from there, or when that doesn't happen, because sometimes, you know, process just stops. You know, it's like you sort of embark on, you choose a road, and sometimes the road just turns into a dead end or a place where you don't want to be. There's nothing wrong with going back to the crossroads and, you know, seeing what other options were there. And sometimes something inspires you so much that you take flight immediately, or sometimes it brings you back to where you really want to be, because sometimes in a process you can't really predict where you're going. Not even when you set goals and everything, because when you're working creatively, you sort of, once you're in the flow takes you places too. There is not 100% control, or else it's not really flow, is it? But anyway, this keeping a book like this, a log book, that's just for you. It's just personal. There is nothing here of interest for people around you, I think. It's not really a diary either, because you only write down the process and, you know, stuff like that. But it's like laying down some of the thoughts in your head to let them grow, to let them flourish. So that's why I bought a new book, and this time it's Le Petit Prince, The Little Prince. If you haven't read it, read it. I love the story. It's a little fairy tale that you can read to young children, but it's actually way more than a little fairy tale. It's a wonderful story. And I'm not going to tell you why. Just read it and then hopefully you catch it. Right, so what have I been doing art-wise? Let's see. Not a lot, because I've also been having tremors from the antibiotics. The shivering's almost over now. It's still there. I can feel it, but you can only see very little anymore. But it really was like this for about 3 weeks. I was shivering like that, and right now I can still feel it, but you can hardly see it anymore. So that's good because I can draw again. The only things I did when I came home was maybe you've seen these on Instagram, like a few creatures in foliage and a little wizard woman who wants to manipulate, you know, life and make things good again, you know. So I spent some time with watercolor, and that felt really great and was really relaxing and healing. But, you know, I was really far away still that point from working or from, you know, trying to focus on a theme that I was into. So that changed, I think, last Friday when I suddenly felt I wanted to do another tree. But with the tremor going on in my hand, and that day it was really strong, I had trouble painting. Because when you hold a very small brush, I like working with size 4 watercolor brushes, and that's a really thin one, as you can see. Can you see that? That's a really thin one, really thin. So this is my favorite brush that I like to work with when I paint trees, etc. and creatures. But when I held it, I was like my hand was shivering immensely. So that wasn't going to work. And then I decided to grab my color pencils, and that's where we get to my choice which ones I should buy. And what I did is I actually drew a tree world. And the thing is that with color pencils, you can squeeze them when you hold them, and you can sort of press harder on the paper, and that compensated for the tremor I was having. And I actually pulled off a really, I hope you guys can see it. It's a super, super, super detailed tree with lots and lots in it to see. And I so love how it turned out. So I'm going to put this one up for sale. Prints maybe even the original, because I want money. I need money. Because well, I drew these in the polychromos, mainly polychromos and a couple of Derwent drawing pencils. And I chose only the Lightfast colors, so this is going to last. I used 1 or 2 Luminance pencils, but you know, when I make art, I want it to be Lightfast. I feel that when I sell my work to people, I need to give them the biggest guarantee that I can give that the materials used are Lightfast and durable. So of course it's always up to house on the place where somebody hangs something on the wall, how they frame it, what kind of materials they use. But in the end, you know, I think that I need to do whatever I can do. So that's why I want the Lightfast pencils. So right now I am deliberating whether I'm going to get the 100 set of the Luminance, so then I'll have 28 double, or that I'm going to get the Derwent Lightfast, because the Derwent Lightfast, there are more colors in there that I like and that I think I will use. And also it's an oil-based pencil, but I haven't ever tried it yet. And the thing is, the 100 set is on sale now for a really good price. But if I want to get the 12 set, it's incredibly expensive, and I sort of don't want to waste that sum of money on 12 pencils when the 100 set is so much more, well, per pencil, so much cheaper. And I've already heard that if you like the Luminance, you are really going to love the Derwent Lightfast, but I haven't tried it myself. So I'm like, okay, I'm actually saving up for, or saving up, yes, I'm saving up for, to buy one of these sets, which I would really love to be able to do within a week or so. So I'm actually selling off. I have a big set of Charisma color pencils, the original ones, in an old box, 108 pencils, and I'm selling that because I'm not using them. I inherited them, and they are lovely and they cover well, especially on colored paper. But the thing is that they are wax-based pencils, and for me, I prefer oil-based pencils, and especially when working with watercolor as well, I have found that, well, for me personally, the oil-based pencils, they work better if I want to do mixed media. So it's kind of a shame because I really wanted to hold on to the Charisma pencils, since they came from an inheritance, and also because, you know, they are a legend. Who has the full, who has the box with 108 pencils? Yeah, well, I do, and I would have loved to just keep it and have it, you know, as like something for in my, I have sort of like a few nice vintage things, and I would have liked to keep it in there. But the thing is, I just need money, and I think that it would be a very good idea for me to invest um, in a set of Lightfast pencils so that I can sell my work with confidence, because that's what it's about. So for this tree, I made sure I used only the Lightfast polychromos pencils. So that's, I've already taken that into account. But yeah, so I'm deliberating if you can help me make the choice just by giving your advice or share your experiences. What's especially important for me is that what I really love about the Luminance is that they cover really well. Even after you did so many layers, they will keep covering. And I wonder and really hope that Derwent Lightfast does the same, because I'm about layering in my paint, in the pencils, in the combination of the two. So that's really important to me. So any advice is very welcome. Thank you. So the last thing I'm working with now that I'm sort of like thinking about is this drawing was done on Ingress paper or Anger. I don't know. It's Ingress pastel paper, and I picked a brown color. It's cotton, acid free, and it's very light paper, 60 pounds paper. And I loved how the pencil worked on this paper. I really loved how it worked on that. But now I have begun working on Canson Mi Teintes cotton paper, and I don't like it. Not a single bit. I don't know if you can see anything here. This is, you know, preliminary sketch that I'm working on, and I don't like it. I don't like, it's got this wafer-like structure that I don't like. The Ingress paper also has a structure, but when you draw a line, you actually get a line, and here the texture of the paper is more pronounced, and the lines are wobbly. And also when you lay down a line of pencil very finely on the Ingress paper, you get to see the line, but here on the Mi Teintes, I have to lay it down quite hard before I get to see anything. That's just a little bit frustrating. I don't like this paper, I already know. I think it's going to be fantastic for pastel, but I think it's not really my cup of tea when it comes down to colour pencil. So I'm not even sure I'm going to finish this tree, I have to say, because I really, really don't like the paper. I'm going to say something about it that may seem very mean, but what it feels like to me, and maybe that's also due to the colour, is that when I was in elementary school, we had these sort of like kitchen towels in the toilet, grey ones, recycled, And that's what this feels like to me, like the little paper towels you dry, the grey paper towels you dry off your hands with, the really, really bad quality ones. It feels that way. It feels dry, it feels rough, it just, and of course when you do pastels, I can imagine rough is great, but I really don't like it for colour pencils. So what I am considering is leaving this tree be, because I also have pastel pencils, and if there ever comes a day that I feel I want to try my pastel pencils, maybe then I can try this paper, but I really am not liking it. I'm a very, very big fan of this paper. It's just super, super, super gorgeous. So I shouldn't look at it too long because then I won't sell it anymore. I really love this one. I really love this one. There is so much in this tree. When you look at the tree and you keep looking, you keep discovering more and more in it. Even I, after drawing it, it's like, oh yeah, that was in there too. Yeah, it's really awesome. So anyway, those are the things I'm learning, and what I'm also planning to do, and I might prepare that today, is take some hot pressed watercolor paper and give that a wash with watercolor with a cert. I don't know which colors yet, but give it a wash with a beautiful warm brown color as an undertone, and then go over that with watercolor, with color pencils. So yes, that's something I intend to try, because I've heard that working on hot press paper is the bomb when you work with color pencils, and I don't think I've ever done that. I'm a little bit cheap with paper. I'm a little bit scared to waste a lot of money on tryouts, and since hot press paper is quite expensive usually, I don't do it. I don't use it a lot for experiments, but I think I'm going to try now and just rely on other people's advice. So this has been quite an update. I hope you've enjoyed it. Don't worry about me. I'm fine. I'm just not sure how quickly I'm going to be back with art videos. I am right now not in a state yet to film my painting or drawing, but you know, hopefully I can do that again soon and get back to that. And yeah, so far, oh, and I got this one for free from an art supply store, Jackson by Honsel, 24 oil pastels, and well, no idea what I'm going to do with that, but I'm not going to waste it. I kind of like oil pastels as well. It's like something to get into with your hands and sculpt and everything. So okay, but I think I've said oh no, well, hold on, there is one more thing. One more thing I did that actually makes sense when you talk about watercolor, is that I am going to change something in my ideal palette. I am going to add core dioxazine purple, the PV23, because that is, as I've heard now, the only Lightfast PV23 on the market. So something needed to go out because I had all my places filled. Let me show you. This is my ideal palette, the color chart that I painted, and here are the pans. So what I'm going to take out, I have Chinese white in here and covering white there, and there's Titan buff here. And I was thinking, I never use Chinese white. I never mix with Chinese white. So then I decided to try and mix some colors. These are the same colors, and I mixed them with Chinese white and with covering white. And yeah, with Chinese white, you know, they're a bit more translucent and a bit more gently mixed. But the thing is, when I want to make pastel colors, I never mix with white, because when you do that, when you mix colors with white, you can't go over them again. They turn muddy. So what I do instead is I simply dilute them very much, because these are all the same colors again. Sorry, I have to do it like this. These are all the same colors again, just not mixed with white, but diluted. So I have decided I'm going to take out the Chinese white and replace that with the PV23 by Core. So because in my color scheme, I'm going to make a video about this as soon as my head is functioning again the way I wanted to. I'm going to make that video because that's been on the top of my list. This is my ideal palette, but as you can see, there is just, you know, reddish purple in there, and here is like a cobalt violet, but there is no actual real royal purple in here. So I felt that I needed to get that in. It's going to be here on the place of Chinese white. And I'm not going to move around my pans because I don't want to make another color chart. But, well, it'll just be there. And, yeah. I got it this week. And that was the order that also resulted in a box of free Jackson pastels. So, anyway, this is all I have to say. Now we can go. If you like my video, please give me your thumbs up or subscribe. Apparently, it's going to help me, you know, get more views and get paid a little, and I really, really want money because I really, really would like to be able to purchase either the Lightfast by Derwent, the 100 set with the full range, because normally I don't advise people to buy full ranges anymore, and I always these are the last polychromos pencils I bought to draw my trees with, Lightfast. But I normally don't advise people to buy a full range, but now because I want to have, you know, a guaranteed set of Lightfast pencils, I'm going to go for a full set this time, and I just have to decide on which one I'm going to go for. But yeah, so I really need all the dimes I can collect, so if you give me your thumbs up, that might help me in getting more views. And yeah, good. Thank you so much for watching. It's good to be back here, even though I can't make any promises yet, but let's hope I'll be back again soon with an art video. And yes, seriously, I am going to get back to you with my ideal palette because I am loving it so much. Despite the fact that I've been in hospital, I don't know if you can see it, but there are pans that are really like this one. I'm reaching the bottom already, and I filled them up only after this summer. So it was September, I think. So I've been painting my fingers off with this palette, and yeah, if you're looking to compose your perfect palette, I can share my experiences with you because it's changed a lot from the live video I put online a while ago, and I've made some changes for the better, and they turn out really well in practice. So thanks again for watching, and hope to see you again soon. Bye.